Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So today we'll see one more concept in machine learning, that is inductive learning or learning by induction. So in our previous session we have discussed about learning by rote, so where the memorization will be done. So whatever the data we are giving, we are training the machine, that data and that examples will be stored in a memory, and the machine will be responding for those kind of data only. So it cannot handle the unseen data, that means which was not trained by the machine. But here in this inductive learning, so the machine will be trained with a lot of data. So the data can be either images or text or anything else, and it will form or generate some rules based upon the patterns available in that examples. So here machine learn from examples and generate rules. So here in this particular inductive learning, we are not supposed to give the rules, okay, how the program should be giving the output. So we are just giving the examples. Here the examples means training. Okay, so from that examples it will generate the rules and it will predict the output. Okay, so example, let us take an example, a simple example. So suppose a machine is trained with the following data. Machine is trained with a data, let it be number of hours studied and result. So this is a small data which was trained to the machine. So if the number of hours studied by a student is 2 hours, the result is a fail. And if the number of hours is 4, it is a fail. And if number of hours is 6, it is pass. And if it is 8, it is pass. So for example, this is the data which was trained to the machine. So from these examples, machine will generate a rule. What is a rule? So a student more number of hours studied will get a result as pass. So this was the rule understood by the machine after the machine has been trained with the following data. So 2 hours study fail, 4 hours study fail, 6 hours study pass, and 8 hours study pass. So from these examples, the machine understood the rule: more number of hours studied, the student will get a result as a pass. Now, if you ask a question, if student studied 7 hours, what would be the result? If the question is this one, if student studied 7 hours, that means here you can write as 7 hours. So what is the result? So from this rule, what you studied, more number of hours studied by the student will get a result as a pass. For 6 it is a pass, 8 it is a pass, so obviously 7 it will predict the result as pass. So this is the prediction done by the machine after analyzing the pattern from this particular data. So this kind of approach is called as a inductive learning. So what actually machine learning do in this way, right? So the machine learning is a best example for this inductive learning, right? So what is the working of this inductive learning? So how this works? So working. So step 1, what is the step 1? Machine will be trained with lot of data. Machine will be trained with a lot of data. So which we are calling it as examples. Which we are calling it as an examples. And after training, step 2. So machine will analyze patterns and generate a rule. So the machine, after training with a lot of examples, so the machine will analyze the patterns and it will generate a common rule, okay, from these examples. Step 3. So it will predict the output. It will predict the output by using this rule generated by the machine. So this is the working of inductive learning. Okay, so let me tell you one more example so that you can understand clearly. So one more example is YouTube recommendations. See, YouTube recommendations. So we'll be getting a lot of recommendations, right, to watch. For if a person watch Java videos, similarly web designing videos, similarly some DevOps videos, right? So this is nothing but examples. What we are saying is an examples. So what the machine understand means, if a person is keep on watching these kind of videos, that means so Java videos, web designing videos, as well as a DevOps videos, so here it will get a rule that person was interested to learn technology videos. Okay, so obviously, so if one person watches a Java, web design and DevOps, automatically that means that particular person is very enthusiastic to learn the technology. So immediately, so YouTube recommends all technical videos, to that particular person. So the same thing happens in the YouTube, right? So if you watch any content, okay, so obviously from the next time the YouTube will be recommending the same category of content to that particular person. So that is called as an inductive learning. Okay, so it forms a rule from all the examples. Here the examples are, so the data which has been trained to the machine. Okay, and so this is the work actually done in the machine learning. So obviously whatever the types we have studied in the machine learning, so one is supervised learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, reinforcement learning. So all these three categories comes under inductive learning. Inductive learning. So all these types of learnings are under the same umbrella, which is inductive learning. So machine learning is a best example for inductive learning. Okay, so this is completely different with the learning by rote, that means memorization. So for unseen data also, this particular learning will be worked, right? So I think hope you enjoyed the session, and hope you understood the concept of inductive learning. And if you are having any doubts regarding this one, feel free to post your doubts in the comment section. Definitely I will try to clarify all your doubts. If you really enjoyed the session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.